Judge Spectre, immortal judge of the Shadow Court who passes judgment on souls on their way to the afterlife. Or at least I was at one time. Apparently my skills were insufficient for the task, and now I've been demoted to a much lower role of reviewing bad plot twists and irritating storylines in video games, and eventually films. Today, I look at Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, one of the best games of 2008, and a game that I like very, very much. So do not think that I don't like this series. That's simply not true. The most irritating plot twist that I've seen in a long time comes from this man, Revolver Ocelot. Let me take you back to Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. We discover that Revolver Ocelot has taken the right arm of Solid Snake's deceased brother Liquid Snake and attached it to his body to replace his missing right hand, which he lost in the original Metal Gear Solid. Now, unfortunately, this process has the unforeseen side effect of Liquid's spirit possessing Ocelot whenever Solid Snake is nearby. Now, 5 years after the close of Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 4, we see that Ocelot has now adopted the full-time name Liquid Ocelot. So what is irritating to me about this plot line? This. Take a look.
I am Liquid's doppelganger. And Ocelot, in order to fool the system, use nanomachines and psychotherapy to transplant Liquid's personality onto his own. He used hypnotic suggestion to turn himself into Liquid's mental doppelganger.
What this basically boils down to is Ocelot was never Liquid. He was simply pretending the entire time. Give me a break. Here, let me show you this scene from Metal Gear Solid 2. Take a look.
Ocelot! It's been a while, brother. Who are you? You know who I am. Ouch! Get out of my mind, Liquid!
Now, does that look anything like someone who's pretending? He had Liquid's own voice, for God's sake, and a barcode on his hand, which meant that it was a real artificial limb, not that prosthetic thing that he had in Metal Gear Solid 4. Even more irritating is that in Metal Gear Solid 3, which was a prequel, we learned much more about Ocelot, and we learned that his father was a spirit medium by the name of the Sorrow, whose specialty was talking to dead people. This is obviously a vague explanation as to how Liquid was able to possess Ocelot to begin with. So, if he was only pretending to be Liquid in Metal Gear Solid 4, what was the point of having the Sorrow be his father? That makes that entire thing completely worthless. Also, there's something else I don't understand. If he was only pretending to be Liquid, I'm just going to show you this scene. This is how Liquid died in the original Metal Gear Solid. Take a look.
Uh-oh. Snake! Snake!
This right here is a scene of Liquid Ocelot and Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4. Keep in mind, This is only Ocelot pretending to be Liquid. He's not really Liquid. Watch.
Nay! Fox! Think again! Sorry, but that won't work this time!
Now, for the love of God, how the hell did Ocelot have any idea what Liquid and Snake's last words were before Liquid died? He can know how Liquid died, sure, but there's no way that he would have known what Liquid and Snake said to each other unless he really was Liquid, so that doesn't make any sense. How did he know? Oh, shut up. What's even worse than this is that at the point when it was revealed, Ocelot has no more storyline significance at all. That's it, he's done. What would have changed if he had been Liquid the entire time? Well, Ocelot's last line of voice work would have changed, and Big Boss could have just cut 30 seconds out of his hour-long scene at the end of the game. Trust me, we would never have noticed it. So, I don't think it adds anything to Ocelot's character. If anything, it subtracts from it because we don't get to see Ocelot in the game as his normal badass gunslinging self. We get to see him in the game as a pretender, pretending to be Liquid, and it subtracts from his character, I think. It would have been much better if he had just been in the game the whole time as Ocelot rather than be pretending to be Liquid. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It was a pointless plot twist and completely unnecessary. And I really don't like how this game takes steps to try to explain too many things logically. This series has never been big on logic. Watch the ending of Metal Gear Solid 2, and you'll understand what I mean by that. So basically, I've talked to you about this ridiculous plot twist, but there are two others that irritated me, just not quite as much. Raiden and the handling of Meryl's character. But I will not be talking about those in this review. I will be talking about those in follow-up videos, so if you want to hear what I have to say, tune into those. Now, I have to thank all of you for spending your mortal lives watching this video. Now, be gone.